this gets us to this concept again of circadian rhythms and how to become a circadian surfer, right? So I think of myself a little bit as like an evolutionary fitness trainer, you know? So like if you can harness our evolved biology, you can do great things. And so what you want to do is first you want to get sort of a baseline of where you are on the lark versus owl circadian rhythm. Are you a morning person? Are you an evening person? Once you understand that, you can figure out what your sweet spot for peak cognition is. And so for me, I am dead center of this distribution. I'm right in between a lark and an owl. So I have some measure of flexibility. But it's good to note that there is natural human variation and that employers should be very mindful that you don't want to have an owl have to come to a 7:30 meeting on Monday. You're going to get, you're paying an employee for their peak level cognition. You don't want to get their worst cognition. That's just not smart. So once you understand that, then you can create a day schedule that maximizes the natural rhythm of the day, of the circadian period. And it matches the light and the kinds of light, the spectrum of light that you're getting outside. So a little bit of outdoor time is really, really helpful as well. Eating outside, having a norm of going outside for walks. These things are all really incredibly important. So it's what I call the focus fortress, and it's for top, deep level thinking. You absolutely want a 2 to 4 hour period, especially if the employee or the person that's part of your organization is doing deep level thinking. It has to be distraction free. So this is a place where cell phones are off, email inboxes are minimized or preferably not even on the screen, and they only have on their screen what their deep, big project is. And you want to match that with the peak cycle of their natural cortisol sinusoidal peak. You want to ride that wave. And when you do that effectively and you don't interrupt that time, you can get, personally, after having done this for now multiple years, I get about 2 days or 3 days work output in that as to what I used to when I was constantly interrupted with an email, a text on my phone, somebody coming in because the door was cracked open. These kinds of things can absolutely murder this particular zone of high peak cognition thinking. Thing is, that's super expensive. So then you have to go from this high level cognitive gear to mediate moderate and low. Typically from high, you go to low. This is your rest, your shadow boxing, your meditation, your little bit of energy consumption, perhaps if it's lunchtime or you need a snack. You need to do those things. Those things are actually super productive. While you're doing those things, your body in the background, your mind in the background is doing all this offline data processing. In fact, when we get to good sleep, one of the functions of deep, slow wave sleep and REM sleep is to process very difficult challenges, be they both social or intellectual or cognitive challenges. It literally does the work for you. It's passively parsing through it. It's why when you wake up in moments of innovation from a dream or in the morning, it's been solving the problem for you while you're asleep. And then what you want to do is modulate in the afternoon, or depending on the circadian function of the individual, you want to modulate that mid gear. That's a perfect time for meetings, face-to-faces, because you're tapping into different cognitive modules that are distinct from the deep level processing. That's a great time to do the admin, chunk through the email, get to inbox 0, right, real quick, and then do some meetings and make sure that everybody's good after your momentary bout of isolation. So if you know your rhythm, you can ride it like a circadian surfer.